We're coming in hot today, folks. The topic of the day, how to survive the dealership's finance office. Buckle up. There's likely no part of the car buying experience that's more stressful than heading into the dealership's finance office. This applies to first-time car buyers and those of us who have gone through the process more than once. Did you know that dealership employees themselves refer to the finance office as the box? That's because it's where you're sent to sweat out the final details of your vehicle purchase. Does this mean that someone's going to put a hot lamp over your head and deprive you of water until you agree with their terms? No, of course not. But this is the point in the dealership sales process, after you've already settled on the price of the vehicle itself, where you can end up emptying your wallet on a whole load of extras that you never budgeted for. On the surface, the primary purpose of the finance manager is to gather the information for your loan or lease application and secure the funding for your vehicle purchase. If your credit is in good standing, you can get an electronic approval in fewer than 5 minutes from either the vehicle manufacturer, a bank, or other lending institutions. But the finance manager may not tell you that right away. No, even if that approval is already sitting on his computer screen, he may first decide to tell you about all the ways that you can protect your new investment while you're waiting for that approval to come through. Strike number 1. There's a litany of products that he's going to pitch to you. They include extended warranties, prepaid service plans, rust protection, wheel and tire protection, window etching, paint and upholstery protection, gap insurance, life insurance, cat insurance. I'm sorry, I got a little carried away. I'm not going to explain the merits or stupidity of each of these items. That's why we have carzuka.ca. Head to the finance office section on our website and knock yourself out. But even if there are some vehicle protection products that you do see value in purchasing, it's usually not that simple. That's because most finance managers are specifically trained on selling you a package of products. So if you want that extended warranty, well, it might be coupled with rust and tire protection. And it's only when you say no that they become more willing to start offering these items individually. Strike number 2. As a longtime marketer for dealership groups, I've seen too many instances where customers are taken advantage of in the finance office. The incident that still turns my stomach was when I entered a weekly managers meeting to find the sales managers, finance managers, and even the general manager of the store all high-fiving and laughing loudly. Why? Because one finance manager had just sold $18,000 worth of add-ons, what they call back-end products, to an unsuspecting customer. $18,000. Think about that. I'm not talking about a markup on the price of the car. That's 18 grand in extras. When I asked that team how that's even possible, they laughed and said, "Thomas, let's just say the customer's purchase is well covered." So how does that happen? In that example, that friendly finance manager presented 3 different packages of products to the customer. He described them as good, better, and best, each with an associated monthly cost. But the total cost of those add-ons was never discussed. No. The way that it's framed to the customer is that it will add just X number of dollars to your monthly payment. That's strike 3. Now, because that finance manager is so friendly, he told the customer that you don't need the best package. There's no need to spend that kind of money. The mid-tier will do just fine, $18,000. And this was for a used $55,000 pickup truck. Remember, these products were financed over the life of the loan, so what sounded like a manageable increase in monthly payments for peace of mind became an enormous score in gross profit for that dealership. Now, let's pause here for a moment. If you remember only one thing from this entire video, remember this. Never evaluate a finance office product based on what it does to your monthly payment. Instead, always ask them for the total cost of each item. And never, I mean never, head into a dealership to buy a car without first arming yourself with the knowledge of all the options that you may want to include with your purchase. An extended warranty, winter tires, whatever. Between the manufacturer's website and the dealership's website, you can get a good idea of the vehicle protection products that matter to you. Carzuka.ca is also a great reference. Now, you're probably asking, what are the biggest wastes of money when you get in the finance office? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Rust proofing. That's number 1. There is no world where rust-proofing a vehicle should cost more than $300, regardless of the type of application. But I've seen rust-proofing sell at dealerships for $1,500 year after year, and they're taking advantage of customers. Especially when you can go to a reputable third-party rust protection provider and get your vehicle coated, underbody, engine bay, door seams, all of it, for less than $200. The dealer will tell you that their magic spray only has to be applied once, unlike the third-party providers. Here's the truth. Any oil-based rust prevention coating needs to be reapplied at least every 3 years to be effective. And whether it's the dealer or a third-party provider, don't put too much stock in the warranty, because most of them require that the metal on your car be perforated, that is, have a hole in it, before they will cover any of the damage. All that said, getting your vehicle rust-proofed is a good idea in Canada and the northern US climates. Just don't do it at the dealership. Oh, and here at Carzuka, we advise buyers to skip the electronic rust prevention modules. I'll just leave it at that. Number 2, VIN etching. Dealers will offer to etch your car's vehicle identification number on all the windows as a theft deterrence feature. The idea being that if the vehicle is stolen, it's easier for police to establish that it's your car and return it to you. I've seen the service offered for between $300 and up to $800. Don't waste your money. Do you think a thief cares if your vehicle's windows are etched? No. If it's a desirable vehicle, sadly, there will always be a chance that it can be stolen. Also, insurance discounts for VIN etching are minimal to non-existent depending on your insurance provider. Instead, speak with your insurance company in advance if you're worried about theft. They will let you know which tracking systems or alarms do allow for a discount on your premiums, and those will be the ones that are actually going to make a difference. And rounding out our top 3, nitrogen-filled tires. The dealer will tell you that filling your vehicle's tires with nitrogen rather than, well, regular air will somehow improve your fuel economy. Now, rather than debate the science, or if the dealership actually does put nitrogen in your tires before delivery, I'll just say that your fuel economy or battery range is far more dependent on you checking your tire pressures once a month. If your car doesn't have a tire pressure readout on the instrument panel, you can get a simple tire gauge from Canadian Tire for less than $15. And you'll find the manufacturer's recommended tire pressures listed on the driver's side door sill. If I'm being fair, I do have to admit that I've seen instances where some finance office products have helped a customer. Like the guy who had his brand new top-of-the-line SUV stolen, and while his insurance would cover the replacement cost of the vehicle itself, they would not cover his $8,000 in negative equity. That's debt from a previous purchase that he carried over when he bought that new SUV. Well, the gap insurance that he purchased from the finance office did cover it. Also, if you're the type of person who likes to keep your vehicle until the wheels fall off, an extended warranty can be a smart buy, especially when you consider the complexity of modern vehicles. Just the head unit alone, that's the display for your music, maps, and phone calls, that can be more than $2,000 to replace, and often much more. But once again, whatever products you purchase in the finance office, evaluate them based on the total cost of the product and what it means for the total cost of the vehicle, not what it does to your monthly payment. That's a trap. I do need to say, please don't get the impression that I think all finance managers are crooks. Absolutely not. If you're a finance manager doing your best to sell these products to customers based on the value they present and with total transparency, good on you. But if you're one of the snakes that finalizes a deal with rust-proofing, rust-proofing undercoat, rust-proofing body spray, rust-proofing electronic module, and a rust-proofing administration fee, all on the same bill of sale, yeah, I've seen that happen. Well, congratulations. You are the reason why people hate buying cars. Now, for car buyers like you and me, know what products and coverages matter to you, and be ready and willing to say no thank you to everything else. Oh, and please don't ever fall for the "this is required" line. There are finance managers who may tell you that the bank requires the extended warranty to get your credit approval, or the lender requires that you take the life insurance policy. In the overwhelming majority of cases, it's complete and utter nonsense. And if any product is required for your credit approval, tell them to show you that in writing from the lender. We do need to swing back to that credit approval we were waiting for, remember? Because we need to address interest rates. Interest rates from manufacturers are usually clearly advertised on their websites, so you can know what to expect based on your credit history. But when you're seeking an approval from a bank or a third-party lender, or on a used car, that's when some shenanigans can happen. Let's say the bank approves you at a 7% interest rate. In some cases, when that approval is then presented to you at the dealership, the finance manager may tell you that you were approved at 9%. That 2% difference is called a dealer reserve or markup. It's the profit they make for bringing your business to the bank. I'm sorry, we're out of strikes. What do I do? However, this is where you're going to hit them with a kick in the peas. You always want to ask, what was the lender's approved buy rate on this loan, and is there a dealer reserve or rate markup included? The finance manager may get a little squirmy in this moment. They may answer the question, they may refuse to answer, or they may say that's confidential. In the end, if you know you're going to need a bank approval, the easiest way to avoid a dealer rate markup is to get a pre-approval from a lender in advance and compare that to the dealer's rate. If the dealer beats your bank rate, fantastic, take the better deal. Just remember that when you're buying a used car or require a bank loan for whatever reason, doing everything at the dealership may be convenient, but it can end up costing you hundreds of dollars. Now, let's talk about the amortization term or length of your loan, because this is where you can get blindsided. If you're making the mistake of thinking only about your monthly payment, the finance manager's first trick will be to lower your payment by spreading it across a longer term, say going from 5 to 7 years. That payment will look more affordable to you, but what did he just do? On the surface, you may feel like you've won, but how much more money are you now paying in interest? That's the question you want to ask. And this goes back to the mantra that Carzuka watchers will know well. Never buy a car based simply on the affordability of a payment. There are several reasons as to why, which we outline in a separate video. We'll link it in the description. For our purposes here, just remember that when any change is made to the terms of your financing, the amortization period, interest rates, down payment, trade-in value, your eyes need to be locked into how those things change the total out-the-door price of the vehicle before taxes. Now, what if you have no patience for any of this? Is there anything you can do to avoid the finance office altogether? Sadly, if you're seeking to finance or lease the vehicle from the dealer, no. But if you already have a bank pre-approval, or you're blessed enough to be able to make a cash purchase, you may be able to avoid most of the second sales pitch from the finance manager. I have personally seen customers go into the finance office and just say, please just print the sales agreement so we can review it. In fact, I've done it myself. The finance manager may insist that he is required to tell you about the products available to protect your purchase. Those customers respond again with, please just print the sales agreement so we can review it. Now, you want to be careful with this approach. You may very well miss out on a piece of coverage that could matter to you. But in a world where consumers are bludgeoned with a car buying process that is bloated and disrespectful to our time, I can understand why many just want to bypass the long sales presentation altogether. Now, if you've gained some knowledge that will help you with your vehicle purchase, please give us a like and subscribe so we can reach more car buyers just like you. We have several videos on our channel to assist with your car buying journey, and we go into even greater detail at carzuka.ca. I'm Thomas, this is Carzuka. Thank you for coming along for the ride.